Okay, totally unrehearsed, off-the-cuff introduction to how I've been interacting with the Behringer BCF2000 control surface. What I have set up is a 8-layer interface. So you have 8 faders on 8 layers. So you switch layers with these buttons. Fader 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Layers A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. It gives you 64 MIDI controls, you know, the output numbers in the range 0 to 127 that you can use for whatever needs controlling. So here's how it works. First thing you got to do is connect MIDI from the control surface to Pure Data and from Pure Data to the control surface. I'm doing this on Linux with the Jack MIDI server. That'll vary from system to system, but however you do it, wherever you're at, you need to make that happen. And then you need to make an object box, type BCF8. You have to have the file somewhere that Pure Data can find it. It doesn't require any externals or anything weird. It should just work. I hope. But anyway, so put that there. That's where all the magic happens. There's kind of a lot going on in here. It's a big patch, lots of junk, you know, whatever. You don't really need to deal with that in terms of just using it in a patch. Make that, and now magically, a bunch of send and receive objects are available to you. So let's type. Let's make an object box. Type receive. Fader 1, layer A. That should give me layer A, fader 1. We'll make a number box, and you will see that as I move this, I get numbers in the range of 0 to 127, just regular MIDI. Similarly, make another receive, fader 2, layer A. That's so we're on layer A, fader 2. Let's move that. There you go. See? Move the fader. Numbers come out like magic. Let's say we've eaten up all 8 faders and we need to control more parameters. We just put something on receive, fader 1, layer B. Switch layers. Now fader 1, layer B. Switch back to layer A. Stuff's where you left it, you know. Fader B, layer B, layer A. Pretty straightforward. I mean, it works like any digital console. You have, you know, 8 faders times 8 layers. And they're just, you know, generic receive objects that put out the raw MIDI. You can do whatever it is you need to do with those numbers. So so next, for each receive object, there's a corresponding send object. So if I type send fader 1, layer A, let's just hook up a number. Let's just hook up a number box to it. You'll see that when I send numbers to that, they both move the fader and they come out of the receive object. And you know, if I bring that all the way down here and switch to layer B, and let's say I change it again. So right now it should be at 10. Let's change it so it's at 97. When I switch back to that layer, it's where it's supposed to be. You know, even though, you know, behind the scenes it was keeping track of where it's supposed to be. And when you switch there, it will always be correct. Until you start fiddling with the guts of the thing. You can get yourself into trouble. But everything should be right and tight. It's gotten a lot of use. and I've never had a problem with it in lots of gigs over several years now. This functionality is handy for doing something like this. Let's say on layer 5 we got a on layer D we have a few parameters that we want to change all at the same time. We got a preset or something. So fader 1 on layer D, fader 2 on layer D, fader 3 on layer D. Let's make a bunch of message boxes, connect them. Fiddly little interface. And we want to send the number 111 there. We want to send the number 56 there. We want to send the number 9 there. You know? So we'll make a bang object or what have you. Let's see what's going on layer D. Hit the bang, wow, just like that. You'll notice even if I'm looking at, you know, a different layer, and I hit that bang, when I switch back, they are where they go. So that's that. And the last thing is the foot switch is wired in. And the way that works is it can output. You use these buttons, and you can tell it to output from 4 different receive objects that you can select. So you can use it for, you know, 4 different things in a patch. They're labeled foot 1. There's no corresponding send object, obviously, because the foot switch isn't motorized. But there are the 4 different receives. Yeah, forgive me, I have a smashed LED, so this one doesn't light up. Yours it should. But this is 1. And when I move the foot switch, receive foot 1 outputs numbers. Set it to 2, likewise. 3, likewise. 4, likewise. Yeah. That's handy. One thing that this is a nice trick that I use a lot. I'll often have whatever I'm doing, the last layer, the last fader is often my master volume. And I often want that on a foot switch. So one thing you can do that's kind of cute, make a send object. Fader 8 on layer H. Wire that up. So now, you know, let's see. Let's just look what's coming out of that fader. Okay, so now, you know, here we are. Master volume, really loud, really quiet. But say my hands are full, so I'm playing my bass or what have you. It's also on the foot switch, which is cute. It makes the fader move. Yeah. And yeah, that's the deal. This has been pretty extensively tested and used on a lot of shows for a few years now, on Linux anyway, both on my desktop and on a Raspberry Pi. It shouldn't require any externals or any weird libraries, should just work. It's been very solid for me. So I hope that's helpful. Cheers.